Part 10. This is such hard work. At tricky points in our relationships, we often complain that love has turned out to be too hard. Perhaps we are repeatedly arguing over minor domestic details, and maybe it's been a long while since there was any uninhibited fun and delight. The difficulties not only distress us in and of themselves, they can also feel illegitimate, contrary to the rules of love, and a sign that the relationship itself must be in error. This too is a legacy of Romanticism, an ideology that lulls us into the unhelpful belief that love is not something to be worked at because it is a feeling and not a skill. We need only surrender to our emotions and our relationship will thrive. But we might be wiser to embrace a notion that love is inherently hard, and that if it feels too hard, this is only because we don't possess the right set of skills to cope with its arduousness. Romantic realism proposes that relationships are not fundamentally different from any other area of human activity in which we must develop expertise. It argues that it is no less peculiar to imagine that we might be able to love without an education than we would be able to land a plane or perform brain surgery without one. It seeks successful love as a skill that can be dissected and systematically learnt, and suggests that we should find nothing cold or eerily rational about the calculated preparation. Romantic realism insists that it is intuition and not reason that is the enemy of successful love. In order to love, we must learn to grasp the role of our past in our selection of partners, to forgive failure rather than merely admire strength, to determine the other distinctive manner of needing love, to cope with laborious, pedantic, domestic issues, to acknowledge the difficulties of admitting to our needs, to accept the nature and drawbacks of our sexuality. We will be ready for relationships when we accept that our chances of contentment depend on our willingness to go back to a skill we were never, sadly, taught that we needed.